Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today I start another cool series. In each episode I will go over what a certain clan needs to become relevant. But first, a message from our sponsor. Sponsored by Royalty Playmat Designs, the perfect way to get a custom and exclusively for you design for your Vanguard playmats. Choose your units, choose some or no zones, choose a tagline, a team name, the name of your bunny. Anything your heart desires at Royalty Playmat Designs. To quickly define what I mean with needs before I get roasted by a bunch of comment warriors going, Aqua Force is fine, it can still win. Sure, fair point. The goal of this video is to discuss what the clan needs to become relevant inside a competitive meta again. This means tier 1. It means being able to crush ZTB 50% of the time. We will discuss what makes the clan suboptimal right now and then go for some good ideas. So let's get into it. Let's first start with the clan in general and then go into specific subclans. 1. One thing Aqua Force obviously hasn't had is a good G-Guardian. Let's be real, plus 5k on first and second battle is bad, really bad. Plus 10k on first and fourth is also really bad. Even Gear Chronicles' very first G-Guard from the Fighters collection is better than anything else Aqua Force has gotten. If you're gonna make a G-Guardian that's so easy to play around and that's actually restricted in its use, it should get a disgustingly good payoff, not a little measly power boost. Third wave rest a unit from your opponent would be way more fair than the bullshit Aqua has right now. Of course, resting isn't something Aqua Force is supposed to do, but it's just an example. If Aqua Force wants to get back into the meta, it will need a G-Guard that actually does something. 2. Another thing Aqua Force hasn't gotten in the defensive department is a perfect guard that does something. It currently has an unflip PG, and that's it. Meanwhile, most top decks can either recycle PGs or PG for free. 3. It needs something to build field. Right now, Aqua Force and Nova Grappler are the two clans where if you don't have the 3 key rear guards in hand from the get-go, you brick, lose momentum and die. The whole engine needs a lot of pieces before it can generate advantage. Meanwhile, other clans have fetching and multi-attacks and field disruption at the same time. Aqua needs a first stride that flips itself up and then lets you call 2 units from the deck, and since they don't have any cards to abuse that way like Belial Owl, it wouldn't even be broken. 4. Aqua Force needs something to deal with things like Header Around and Denial Griffin. Now don't get me wrong, counters should exist. Aqua Force shouldn't get resist on every single unit for the whole game, but the whole deck shouldn't turn vanilla the second your opponent is holding a heal. We need an on-stride skill that gives one unit resist and power, something Gancelot-like, something that ensures that you can still do some plays even if your opponent drive checked the heal last turn. 5. Aqua Force needs a new keyword. Wave is ass. Wave might be the very worst keyword in the game. It limits the one thing Aqua Force was supposed to be good at, and rather than rewarding them for jumping through such ridiculous hoops, they get garbage skills for it. There's a very good reason our current lineup runs only one wave unit, and that's Melania. All the rest is simply ass. The skills are nowhere near good enough to justify unideal attacking patterns, so we either need a new keyword or we should get something ridiculously busted in order to be rewarded for hitting specific waves. 6. I kinda mentioned this briefly in point 3, but we need a first stride that does something. Right now, we stride into Commander Savas for a 5k power boost. Think about it, what other deck runs 4 cards in their G-Zone that only gives a 5k power boost and that are a kinda super fucking mediocre counter to Link Joker? Who does that? Aqua. Overlords is kind of in the same spot where they have to stride Mustafa to not have a garbage first stride, but apart from that almost all clans have a pretty good first stride and every top tier deck can do ridiculous plays the second they drop a stride fodder. Aqua needs the same, and no, the new blue wave does not count. Going -2 for a driveless restand is usually a really dumb play that you only want to be doing if you know you're gonna win that turn. And considering that play costs you a counterblast, a resource the deck can't miss, I highly doubt anyone will be striding Hazard Fleet first stride anytime soon. Getting into specific subclans, let's start with Maelstrom. This subclan needs a lot. Back when the batch of support was announced, everyone was going, oh my god, Aqua Force is back, and I initially thought the same thing. Fuck yeah, your opponent can't guard shit anymore. until I started actually using my brain and went over some plays. It's actually borderline impossible to get your soul to 5 Maelstroms when you're going up against a legitimately good deck like Battle Sisters. So that whole guard restrict skill is actually pretty mediocre. This subclan basically needs everything I just mentioned, and then it would need a Maelstrom Stride Fodder that allows you to add a grade 3 Maelstrom from deck to hand by putting another grade 3 Maelstrom from hand to soul. This would fix the ride and also turn this deck into a ticking time bomb, because you get your 1 Maelstrom soul charge every turn after GB, and then you also get the Stride Fodder. This would make the deck way scarier, and if paired with all the things mentioned above, could make it actually viable. Going into Blue Wave, this deck also desperately needs things mentioned above, but less so than the other two subclans. To be honest, the new cards look pretty good. But the big issue is that they all cost loads of resources. In order to make this deck actually functional, Blue Wave would need something like Zinc. If they don't get that, I honestly doubt if I'll even play it. Finally, Savas, my dear beloved. You know the one thing Savas doesn't have? A grade 3 that does something. Look at his terrible GB2. Look at his on-stride skill that has nothing to do with the clan and doesn't help it in any way. Sure, it's fun to nuke something on the field, it's really annoying to play against, but it doesn't actually facilitate what the deck needs to be doing. It only kinda rewards you for doing it, if it works out. I'm honestly hoping we get a Tavas grade 3 that has a rearguard skill like Arsenal Fleet, letting you restand on some wave, and then an on-stride skill that lets you either give some units resist, call a unit from deck, or just something that helps the deck do what it's supposed to do. Another interesting thing would be to let the on-stride be a skill where for every wave that you do, your rearguard gains plus 3k power during its attack. This would mean wave 1 plus 3, wave 2 plus 6, wave 3 plus 9, and so on. This would reward Aqua players for actually hitting all those dumb waves, while simultaneously solving the defensive trigger haha get fucked problem. But yes, this deck also needs the 6 points mentioned earlier. That was it for this video. If you enjoy this format, please let me know which clan I should do next. I'm actually really hyped for these kinds of videos, and if you are too, make sure you subscribe and click the bell button to get a notification when I upload more. Like the video if you like the video, and if you agree or disagree with any of the points, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. Ciao!